All right, back here on CBS Sports HQ, we are just 1 week away from the Cowboys season opener against the Eagles. And still, no Micah Parsons deal. Man, that image of him laying on a table has just been going everywhere, right? The drama just rolls on. You know, he was spotted at an airport yesterday, reportedly heading back to get a second opinion on his bad back after the team cleared him to return to practice. And we've seen this drama before with the Cowboys paying their stars and paying them very, very late. Remember Dak Prescott? It was like the first game of the year. It was on September 8th. Where he signed that 4-year, $240 million extension through 2028. Same thing with CeeDee Lamb coming August 26th of 2024. Very late as well. And now we're waiting for Micah Parsons, trying to see when that deal is going to get done. He's currently in the midst of that holdout, seeking a long-term deal. And if you remember, he did request a trade out of Dallas earlier in August. All right, let's continue this discussion, shall we, with our lead NFL insider, Jonathan Jones, and Logan Ryan back with us here. So, JJ, we just saw it listed out on that graphic there. We've seen the Cowboys wait up until what is seemingly like the last minute, right, to get these deals done with their stars. We're a week out from the season opener with the Cowboys. Should we be panicked a little bit because we're at this point, or should we kind of just be in the mindset of, like, this is what the Cowboys do?
I think the latter, Jacqueline. I mean, especially after what has been going on, it does not seem to me like we are getting a resolution within the hour, right? And look, you go back to last year. They should have paid CeeDee Lamb before they paid him. They should have paid Dak Prescott before they paid him, right? Because the high water mark, for example, let's look at the quarterbacks. It was at $55 million. The day of week one, on that Sunday, he signed for an average of $60 million. Rarely do you really blow the top off, especially for a quarterback. I like Dak Prescott a lot, especially for a quarterback who doesn't even have an NFC Championship game appearance, much less not a Super Bowl appearance or win. We see right there, look, Micah Parsons, under normal circumstances with a normal NFL team, he would have gotten his contract last year, right? Look at what the Baltimore Ravens just did with Kyle Hamilton, resetting the safety market yesterday after his third season going into his fourth year. But because they didn't get the top two guys done in time, the Dallas Cowboys, and they never do, they actually couldn't pay Micah last year. So it was one problem that begat the next problem, right? It was that domino effect. And so now here you are with Micah, where the non-quarterback market, the top of that market, has been reset time and again. And so now it's going to cost you $45 million in average annual value, when a couple of months ago it would have cost you 40. Last year it would have cost you 35. But that's the way that the Dallas Cowboys do business, and they know what the number is. Logan and I know what the number is. We could, if we really spent about 15 minutes off air, we could put together the contract for Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. It's actually fairly simple. It's just a matter of if Jerry Jones is going to extend that offer to Micah himself.
You know what? In the offseason, every time a pass rusher got paid, in the back of our minds, we're just thinking, all right, there goes the price tag increasing once again on Micah Parsons for the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go, right? So, Logan, from a player perspective, right, how do you get ready for the season? How can Micah get ready if he hasn't been practicing, he hasn't been playing in the preseason at all? Because we know it can kind of take a while to ramp up. We saw that with CeeDee Lamb. So from a player perspective, how do you get ready for a season if you haven't been practicing and you've been dealing with this sort of situation if you're Micah Parsons?
Yeah, Micah Parsons, business right now is he's got to decide if he's going to play or not this season. I don't see this deal getting done this week. He has the ability to play this year, and Jerry said I can tag him a couple more times. You got to understand that Dak Prescott got tagged, had to play on it. Jamar Chase had to play through his deal last year and balled out and reset the market as the non-quarterback deal. So I think Micah Parsons got to really sit here and say, am I showing up to play this first game? Am I holding out? That's a whole different mentality. He's going to have his own trainers at home. He has his own chef at home. He's going to make sure that he's prepared to play. That's his job. But he's not practicing. He's not doing anything to play in this game. And the Dallas Cowboys aren't doing anything to get him to play in this game either. They're arguing about the back injury. So as a teammate, as someone who's been 11 years in the league, you say, hey, man, go get your money. I understand what you got to do, bro. It's hard to get paid in this league. Everyone loves you in this league until it's time for a payday. Then you start seeing holdouts and Terry McLaurin's not happy and all that stuff. Franchises change on you really quick. So as a player in that locker room, this is a major distraction. Major, major, major. We got a first-year head coach. We just got George Pickens. Dak is back. This is our time to take the division. The Eagles are cooking. The Commanders are there. We want to be competing in this division. We need to make the playoffs. And you don't play your star defensive player? So now he's not there. Now he's talking about a back injury, and you don't know if he's going to play or not. It seems like Jerry has his heels dug in. As a player, this is a major distraction if you're getting ready for the first game and the Schottenheimer regime. Major, major distraction. And you're not mad at Mike at all. You're mad at the ownership. And this tells me as a player, if I ball out and I'm one of the best in this franchise to ever do it my first 4 or 5 years, I don't get rewarded. So I come to work every day and I perform like an all-pro player and I don't get rewarded. I got to wait to the very last day to get rewarded. So this is not good signs in the locker room. This is a big distraction if I'm getting ready for week 1. And I truly believe that Micah Parsons needs to start considering if he's going to hold out this season and not show up to the first game and how many games he's going to do that and what do those fines look like. So I think it's really getting to that cutting time because I think Jerry Jones is dug in saying, hey, I can franchise you for a few more years. You're under contract. So this is a tough spot to be in if you're Micah Parsons and his agent.
Yeah, as mentioned, he did request a trade out of Dallas earlier this month. And JJ, the latest that we're hearing is that the Packers are showing some interest in a potential Micah Parsons trade. But just how serious is their interest, JJ?
Oh, there's serious interest for the Green Bay Packers. I think there's serious interest elsewhere around the league. Anytime that you can acquire a talent like Micah Parsons, and we had a graphic up there earlier where he's up there with first ballot Hall of Famers. Anytime that you occupy that sort of space, that rare air, teams are going to, look at that right there. Anytime that you share a graphic with Reggie White and Derek Thomas and our guy J.J. Watt, yeah, your team needs to pay you. And other teams are going to want your services. And you look at the Green Bay Packers and you consider their history, right? Getting that Reggie White. I know he's in that beautiful Kelly green, but remember, of course, at the start of free agency in the NFL when he made that huge splash impact by going to Green Bay. Remember, of course, Julius Peppers and that first ballot Hall of Famer making his move to Lambeau. And now you have Brian Gutekunst, the general manager of the Packers, who may be looking for his big-time pass rusher to get there. But look, a team like the Packers or anyone else, you can want Micah Parsons all that you want. That doesn't mean that you can get him. It takes the Dallas Cowboys being willing to part with Micah Parsons. And that is the interesting part. You know, Logan talked about holding out, or maybe he doesn't show up for week 1. You know, as it relates to Micah Parsons, if he does not show up week 1 or any subsequent week after that, he's missing out on at least $1 million in game checks. That's not talking about the fines that he would incur from the team, et cetera, et cetera. However, teams cannot fine and they cannot pay you if you are injured. And that is where we're at right now with Micah Parsons and the back injury. We have heard time and again from the Dallas Cowboys about how their MRIs have come back clean on Micah Parsons' back, which signals to everyone that the Cowboys believe he is healthy enough to play. And so if he withholds his services, they will withhold his pay. But Micah Parsons now getting a second opinion on that back. Well, if a doctor says, hold on, this back is exactly what Micah Parsons is claiming that it is, well, he can't play. He's injured. And so that's where you see where he may not play in week 1, but he actually still gets paid, and this goes into the season as the Cowboys face off against NFC East opponents, the Eagles, and then maybe week 2 against the Giants. So we'll see how this works out. This is the next step, is what does that second opinion render? And if Micah Parsons is determined to have a legitimate back injury in the eyes of a medical professional, now we move to the next step between Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones.
I absolutely agree with JJ. I love that he followed up on the point about this back injury. It's $1 million injury a week. That's how important this MRI is. $1 million a week, Doc. Is it hurt or is it not? Because of the holdout, because of the game checks he will lose, because of the fine. He is still on his rookie contract. He is not a free agent. He's still under control of the Dallas Cowboys. And that is Jerry Jones's point. You're either going to show up and ball out one more time or not. And I believe that Jerry Jones is dug in on that, no matter how you feel. And I believe that is such a distraction, such bad business, and can be detrimental to the Cowboys' success this year. But it seems to me if I'm a player that says that Jerry Jones cares about money more than he cares about winning, Duh. And a lot of players feel like that about certain owners. You look at Micah Parsons' production, it's up there to get paid. Just how much? And Jerry Jones says, well, I have your rights. And now we're sitting here. So I think what we've been alluding to, that missing games from Micah Parsons is the most likely thing right now. I do not see how a Cinderella deal gets done. I don't know. I can't say that Micah Parsons is on the field week 1. I really do not see that happening. And it's how long, what is the injuries, and how much are we going to be talking about this and filling airways every single day until something moves, really talking about this injury and then furthermore after that.
Jerry Jones is not complaining when we're talking about this on our airwaves, gentlemen. JJ, Logan, we certainly appreciate it as that Micah Parsons situation just rolls on, and we are just 1 week out from the Cowboys playing the Eagles to kick off the regular season. The NFL on CBS, that returns on September 7th. You can watch your local game live and, of course, stream all the action on Paramount Plus as well.